Hi, I'm drinking green detox ginger juice. It's very nice. And I'm pondering. I was in bed for maybe 12 hours today. It was one of those days where social media calls it rotting. I very much believe like your body is just resting and healing and even transitioning. Like as a woman, we go through 4 cycles every month, and sometimes we might be busy in real life, so we are not fully allowing our body to do what it needs or give it what it needs. And my body lately has just been telling me to like slow down, rest, relax, enjoy, retreat. So I've been honoring that. So it feels pretty good. Um, okay, let's jump right into it. I think this is going to be a shorter video because, like I mentioned, last week's video was really late. It was a few days ago and we covered a lot. But continuing some of the messages or the notes, bullet points from last week's video, my mom's birthday was on Saturday. She celebrated her 65th. And for those of you who are familiar with my story, it's just been a rocky journey with my mom and I for 20 plus years. I'm 34 for context. She's my only surviving parent. My dad passed when I was 21, but he was deported when I was 11. So, I mean, yeah, just really complex relationships with both parents. And yeah, it's just been a really interesting journey of forgiveness, um, forgiveness, and what's another word? Growth, evolution, reintroduction, processing, all that kind of stuff. And we've done family therapy. We're a family of 8 with my dad, 7 now. And we had family therapy with all 6 kids, which we're all adults now. The youngest turns 24 in a month. Wow. And yeah, so we all from 24 to 40, like got to share our individual experiences of what growing up was like and what we experienced and how we are navigating adulthood. And I think it can be really humbling and hard for a parent to hear where they didn't get things right, but also why we are the way we are because of the things that weren't right, growing up. And we will always champion the fact that immigrant parents or our parents who were born in another country immigrated for better opportunities for our kids. We will never stop thinking and praising the fact that that takes incredible courage and the sacrifices and the costs even of something like that. It's intense. So we will always honor her for that. And she's easily the hardest working woman I know. It's unfortunate though, there's no trophies for hard working. And I think because she has had to muscle her way through so much in life, that maternal energy was always missing because she had to play 2 roles. And there was more of a force for us to be who she desired versus an invitation or an allowance to choose. So yeah, it kind of hardened us, and we had to all go through our own healing journeys. Like I'm not going to speak on behalf of my siblings, but for me specifically, I feel like the black sheep, so I feel like I've had um, a rough time. Like I've gone several years sometimes without speaking, and I'm also the first one to have a partner, and none of us have kids. So it's almost like now the pressure is on me to bring her grandkids, which I've told her I don't want kids, and she just doesn't believe it. She's like whatever, but she'll keep like forcing it. And so there's just certain things where I have to like recognize what's a way to respectfully hold a boundary and still honor the relationship. So I've just been navigating that. But my therapist helped me like just work through what is the purest part of you want to say? And it doesn't have to be like fake. You don't have to pretend like nothing is going on. And yeah, it was, I kind of wrote out like just a heartfelt message of just how much I appreciate her and how much I love her and just honor her for who she is. And then I was on the couch with Stefan and he knows about our relationship. So I was like, hey, babe, we're going to make a birthday video. And he knew it was my mom's birthday. I had told him, but I don't think he knew the birthday video was going to be for her. And so he perks up, and then I'm like, it's for my mom. He's like, oh. And I could tell he was like, oh shit, this is gonna be a big deal. Like this is, yeah. I think he was also surprised that I was sending it. But yeah, we sang happy birthday to her. She loved the video. She was really appreciative. And then of course, several questions followed after that. And what I'm learning is not to do things in hopes that it would change someone's behavior, but to hold someone's behavior at at face value. Like I keep saying like. I'm working on just being a better speaker, and it's really frustrating in real time to catch myself how often I'm saying like. And it's the reason I don't rewatch these videos because I am so embarrassed with those filler words, just transparently speaking. So yeah, I recognizing who she is at face value and not shifting my behavior in hopes that it changes hers. And I think that's been my journey, not trying to manipulate her into different behavior by people pleasing and giving her the answer she wants, hoping that it will change who she is. And if I couldn't be the daughter she wanted and she couldn't be the mother I needed, then we're both with this holding this tension and resentment, and something's got to give. So I just wanted to share that because I think it's going to be an ongoing journey. There are seasons where things are great and seasons where we're just not talking. And I'm allowing myself to honor both seasons as necessary parts of my own healing journey and what it takes to reconcile a relationship that is built and bonded by blood. Okay, elections. Hard pivot there, huh? Hmm. Elections are at this point a week away. Holy moly, I've never felt this much anxiety about something. And the reality, it's so strange how both times where that guy, TFG, I think is what we're saying, TFG, the former guy, both times where he was on the ballot, I was traveling. And I don't know if that was, this time it was very intentional. Last time it was accidental or purely coincidental. So it's just really interesting that I get to at least look after my mental health, but by not being like stuck in the middle of the mess physically. And I was mentioning on Threads, I kind of put a note how when I'm in the US, it's you are hard pressed to get me to run a 5 minute errand. It is hard to get me out the house. And here, like yesterday, I just did a 90-minute motorbike trek to the north of the island to meet up with some friends for dinner, to do a double date, and to take private handpan lessons. What? It's almost 2 hours, like almost 4 hours round trip. Are you kidding me? I would never do that in the US, let alone 5 minutes. And I mention that because in the US, it's not just the 5 minute errand, it's the microaggressions, the monitoring of your blackness, navigating majority white spaces and figuring out what is acceptable for you to exist peacefully and to garner respect. And it's just this constant negotiation of who can I be in this space? And I'm exhausted by it. And of course, you don't have to do it, but uh, it's a lot of things where I'm like, if this is what it takes to get respect in this space, I'm gonna play the game because I I don't even want to do I don't have it in me to pretend like dressing differently than how I do is going to get me the same behavior. I don't even want to, I have no points to prove. I know that dressing a certain way garners me a certain level of respect. And if I want that level of respect, then I'm going to keep doing that behavior. So it's that. In Bali, I could dress like a bum and I will get basic level respect. Like human decency is like the baseline for Balinese people. In the US, you have to earn it by how you look, how you talk, how you dress. And so I'm done playing those games. I'm just done. I opt out. And I think there's two things that we can really do just in preparation for next Tuesday, election day. One, vote early. We know what's happening right now with ballot boxes and drop off stations. We cannot trust it. So go in person and vote early. And number two, exercise optionality. What does it look like to move your family to another country temporarily? What does it look like to uh, find remote opportunities so that you're not stuck in an environment or a state that doesn't respect reproductive rights and healthcare. And what does it look like to start over and abandon what you thought was like top tier living? Like the US has this very linear way of viewing success and life. And I'm just like really mindful of, I think Stefan is back. um, because I'll have to unlock the door if that's the case. Mm. So I just want you to always keep that in mind. Like you are not stuck where you are. There's that cliche, you are not a tree. You can move, you know. Yes, it takes resources, it takes finances, it takes work, it takes effort, it takes energy, all of the above. And you don't have to move your life to Bali. That is an absolute privilege, but there are options. And I don't want you to feel like this is it for you, especially if that former guy ends up back in office, which all we can do is pray at this point. Okay, I had my first workout in 2 weeks today. Felt good. Felt really good about myself. And yeah, the workout was about 45 minutes, and then I went on a 30-minute walk, and that felt really good. I was like, good for me. Good for me. That was like a nice threshold. And then I've been eating really, yeah, the goal today was like consciously eat fruits and vegetables because Bali also has some of the most incredible fusion cuisines like Indian and Japanese and Italian and Guyanese. Like it'll just, oh, so good. You will eat like royalty here. And so it's very easy to get caught up in just dining really well. And, fine dining or just like great food in general. It doesn't always come with vegetables on the side. So there are times I have to intentionally just order a salad because the main food options don't come with that. So yeah, just reminding myself to get back to the basics. Drink, drink my water, eat my fruits and vegetables, move my feet, just like walk, get out, move my body, all that stuff. Okay, conference fatigue. I am recognizing that, yeah, this year I don't think I went to many conferences. I usually schedule one per quarter, but I think there's this like I've been underwhelmed by them lately and unimpressed. And I also know that conferences, it's a massive investment. I tip my hat off to anyone who uh, tries it because listen, in 2019, I took my best stab at it. And I had 100 women fly in from 5 continents for a 2-day conference in Puerto Rico. It was a sisterhood summit. I had 7 speakers. It was incredible. We had a yacht excursion and um, what do you call it? Bacardi experience. Like it was a lot. It was intense and it cost me, I think it was about 140 grand. But it's not cheap. And I wasn't going in there as like it being like a profit machine. I was like, I kind of did it as a gift to my community, like thanking them for supporting me and then also wanting them to connect with each other. And to this day, many of them like are still good friends. So I still feel really good. Like that was a lesson that I needed to learn. And I'm really glad I had that experience. And shout out to Zoe, Shariga Moore, who helped me put that on because it was just such a massive undertaking. And I think, yeah, just what I learned is like I'm not a conference person, like in terms of hosting. I mean, at the end of the day, I know God has a plan for me, and maybe there's a day later on where I'm meant to do it in a different capacity, but I didn't get the yeah, I don't know that it's my calling to do like big events like that, which is why a lot of my retreats, you'll see it's like 5, 6 people. I really love the intimacy of that. And it also feels very safe. There's no clicks because we're small enough to be one click, so people aren't venturing off with each other. And yeah, so I'm just like always on the hunt for conferences that can fulfill me in a way that yeah, just different and provide like authentic networking opportunities that don't feel forced. And the conferences that I speak at, I do try to stay for the entirety of the event. Like most people won't even realize, like, wait, I saw you in the audience. You're the one dancing. And then they'll see me on stage the next morning because I don't, yeah, I'll even take off my badge because I don't want people to see speaker on it. I just want to blend in because I actually want to learn. I don't want to come in there with this pretentious air, like, I'm here to speak life into you people. It's like, no, I'm here to learn too. I'm here to always learn. And I love taking notes on the other speakers too, and just recognizing ways that I can improve as a speaker. So yeah, I genuinely enjoy those. So long story short, there is a conference happening in Bangkok, and I'm trying to figure out, is it worth going? It doesn't look, first of all, the speakers lineup has not a single person of color, let alone Black people, but there's no one, not a single person of color. And so already I'm like, red flag. I will not be supporting an event that is so whitewashed. Like, how are we still here? How are we still here? So yeah, we'll see what happens. But overall, I know that I'm also like missing, I usually like I'm the hosting friend. In many of my friend groups, I'm the hosting friend. I'm the one that usually invites people to the country and gets them together and connects them to each other. And I don't mind doing that. I actually really enjoy that. At the same time, I'm like, sometimes I just want to kind of show up and learn and be poured into. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I think there have been scenarios like that and I've appreciated it, but I think I'm still looking for energy that matches, I don't know, that maybe caters to my introversion and creative brain. Like I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a business owner, but I'm a creative and a storyteller at my core. I'm an artist and I feel like I just have a really unique mix of what makes me an entrepreneur. And I'm still looking for those people that I can align with who, yeah, just relate to my journey and how I operate. So there's that. The beauty in changing seasons. It's about to be rainy season in Bali, and I don't know, especially because, depending on where you are in the island, like Ubud gets more of the actual rain than mm, mm. Sorry, I'm like, why does my face look like that? Sometimes the proportions, not proportions, the lighting is so, I look like a ghost. Okay, hope that's better. Zoom has this, so I record these on Zoom, and Zoom has this like portrait lighting mode. So I was like, why does it look like that? Oops. Like, why does my shirt look like that? Okay. Okay. A little bit better. So yeah, what was I saying? 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 Changing seasons. So the changing of seasons and how it's going to be rainy season soon, and we'll be heading to Thailand by then, but also appreciating what rain brings you, a level of calm, a level of coziness, being more introverted and cognizant of like, I don't know, your emotions maybe, more self-care embedded in there. Who knows? But something to think about if you get seasonal depression like I do often, even if I'm traveling, it just sometimes hits me out of nowhere. And so I'm just always mindful to go inward. And yeah, I journaled today. I started doing my journal entries as letters to God, and that's been really helpful. Just, dear God. Yeah, I've really been enjoying that. Okay, we'll end on this note. This video's ended up being just as long, but Love is Blind, US, and Habibi. The reunions are tomorrow and the day after. Well, both the reunions are this week. I must say, I must say, with Habibi especially, I'm so happy for Safa. Safa is gorgeous. She is stunning. And it's not just her appearance, it is her energy, it is her aura, it is her essence. And I think because there's so many other women that had like cosmetic work done, you kind of I feel like sometimes cosmetic work blocks the natural beauty that someone possesses. And I'm just like, oh, I can feel like I mean it is very normal as well. Like I don't want to make it seem like, oh, if if they didn't get anything done, they would be more beautiful. Not at all. I think there's a part of me that just wants to just tell every woman that she's gorgeous and she's beautiful and she doesn't need to do anything to appease to the male gaze or to make herself feel more. Like, I just wish more women were told that they were beautiful as they were. Like, whether that was as a teenager, because we all went through those rough stages, or just as an adult, because I think you can see in some of them where, I don't know, there's almost like an overcompensation because someone else has something that they don't, they overcompensate it with something else. And I don't know, like I don't mean to like, yeah, I can't judge. Like I don't want to sound judgmental and I want to like I guess understand better. What I'm specifically thinking of is like the lip jobs. When I see that the lips are like really like over inflated, and I don't know if it's filler, I don't know if it's permanent, but I just because it doesn't look natural to anyone. And so I just wonder, I'm like, okay, what do they see? Because if it's maybe it's really beautiful to them, or maybe they're at a point where they can't turn back. So I just always wonder. And lips are such an interesting part of the body, right? Like it's maybe it's a sexualization of lips that make it be something that so many women want to change. So I don't know. I just always like I get curious about what's really behind it. Okay. Moving on. Yeah, so I guess we'll recap the reunions next week. I do see that Hannah from the US edition is trying to become a viral TikTok star. I'm just I have no words for that one. I have figured out what my November experiment is. So last video I mentioned that my word of 2024 was experiment. So every month this year, I've experimented with a different thing. So um yeah, whether it's hairstyles, trying to be vegan, LinkedIn optimization, revamping my Snapchat, launch strategy, just random things personally and professionally. And for November, I decided I will cut out sugar, bread, and cheese. It's very random. And then meat wise or food wise, I'll be pescatarian. So no meat or beef, strictly fish. And just see how I feel energy wise. Like I think it'll be nice for just feeling a little bit lighter and not being as weighed down. I was telling Stefan, I was like, did you know beef and pork stays in the belly for 24 to 72 hours? Like that's how long it takes to digest and like exit your body. And even just information like that, when you feel bloated or weighed down, it's like, yeah, what are you eating and how long is it passing through your intestines? So just trying to keep that in mind for myself and experimenting because all we can do at this age is just keep experimenting with what works or what will work for our body type. Yeah, that's it. Okay, okay. All right, this is fun. Thanks for being here. I will see you next week. I'll still be in Bali, so I'll see you next week in Bali. And shout out. Thanks for being here. This has been an incredible journey, and I can't believe we're 43 weeks in and just 9 weeks left to go, which means 9 weeks left in the year. And it's crazy. I started this on a whim. I'm so proud that I've continued it. No matter how late I've been able to stay consistent with this. And I actually think I'm going to continue it next year. I don't know if the frequency will stay the same, but I am really proud of just being able to document life without a filter. Just this is what it is, this is what's happening, and this is what's going on in my life. I think I'll really appreciate this in the future. So, love y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye.